Welcome to our second special Flix Forum episode where we are going to give our rankings of the second lot of 25 Netflix films from 26 to 50 and reveal our combined ratings of these films. This is our second day of Podmas, where we are releasing an episode every day in the lead up to Christmas. I'm Jesse, and as usual, I'm joined by MJ and Heater.
That's right, mate. Very excited for Podmas. I know it's only day 2, but you know how much I love Christmas, and I have seen those Christmas movies on the list. So I'm very excited.
3 weeks to seeing you every day.
But I also, when we did the top 25 episode, I very much enjoyed that too. So there's no point doing this podcast if we can't give our listeners some definitive rankings of our favourite films. So by the end of this episode, we'll be able to reveal the Flix Forum top 50 of the first 50 originals, but we're also going to give you a little bit more bang for your buck.
That is correct. So each of us are going to give you our top 3 scenes, our worst 3 scenes, top 3 characters, and the top 3 acting performances from the second lot of 25 Netflix original films. We want to have some fun with this as we recap everything and of what we've been doing on Flix Forum over the past 6 months.
Yeah, awesome. So without further ado, let's have a look to see how our rankings are taking shape. MJ, you are the man with the data. Hit us up.
I am very lucky that you have both sent me your respective top 50s, so I'm privy to how our top 50s are looking. And I think even just looking at this as you guys sent it through to me, one of the things I like so much about the reason we're doing this podcast anyway is how different our thoughts on films are. Like, both of you would send through your list, and I'd be like, you are kidding that film is in your top 10, or as if that film is so low. So I'll run us through what our top 50 is looking like now from 50 to 1.
All right,
with greater emphasis on the
New
original
ones?
films from 26 to 50, because we did do a good recap of the first 25. But I'm going to try and reserve judgment, but I might give you both a couple little whacks from time to time. So
I reckon we'll be right.
Yeah, I think we'll be fine.
you can give each other some whacks too with some of your differentials. Number 50 is still the 8th Netflix original film, Brahma Naman. Number 49.
No
I still had mascots in my list.
Yeah, Jesse actually still had Brahma Naman at 49. Number 49 is Mascots, so that was still out of the first lot. But number 48 is our first film from the 26 to 50, and that is #Reality High. So I had it at 43, Jesse 42, Heater 47. And that has it got it sitting in 48th position. I don't think we've got much to talk about on that.
My God, that movie was awful.
#move on.
Number 47, XOXO. Number 46, Take the 10. Mainly because Heater had it at 30. Whilst Jesse and I both had it at 48. Number 45, Rebirth. Despite me having it at 35. Number 44, sorry Jesse, but it is Pee-wee's Big Holiday.
Oh, wow. Wait. I
That's
had that at 25 in my list
Yeah,
too.
at 25.
Yeah.
I had it at 49, Heater at 48.
Oh, wow.
So number 43 is a new one. It is Handsome, a Netflix mystery movie, whatever it was called. It basically sits at 43.
So did Jesse have that low?
I had that at 44.
Yeah, Jesse had a 44. I had 38, you had 37.
I had 37, yeah.
But it's kind of where we all...
Yeah.
It's not too drastic. Where
Still had it above Coin Heist.
Coin Heist is 42. So there you go with Coin Heist.
I had above Coin Heist.
I had Coin Heist above that. Number 41 is The Ridiculous 6, which again sits probably where we all thought it should be, thereabouts.
Yep.
Number 40, we've got Win It All. So Heater had that at 25.
I had that high, yeah.
And
I like that movie.
Remember from our discussions on that one, Heater did enjoy that more than we did.
Yeah, all the gambling in the movie. I like the gambling. That's right. Like the gambling, hated the rest.
Too grainy for me, that one.
Number 39, it was grainy, wasn't it? Yeah. Number 39 is another new one, Naked.
I had that at 47.
Yeah, that's probably what pulled it down.
47?
I did. I had that very
I didn't realize you hated it that much.
Sure did.
Yeah, so that was like your 4th worst movie.
Yep. Easily.
Heater, you had it
I had
high.
27, yeah.
Number 38 is one of the biggest discrepancies, but it is an old one, so we know about it, but it's Mercy at 38. Despite Jesse had it at 7.
7! Wow. I believe I had that at 7.
Now we've got a little patch of 26 to 50 films. So number 37, The Incredible Jessica James. Now I actually had this one at 21. I thought it was quite a decent film. 6.
I do remember you really liking that one.
You guys having it basically where it sits now.
Yeah.
Number 36, the most hated woman in America. Probably thanks to me more than anything else. 'Cause I had that at 40. I didn't think much of that film.
Yeah, fair enough.
Number 35 doesn't sit well with me is Girlfriend's Day. I had it at 10.
Yeah, both me and Jesse didn't like that one, did we?
Yeah, you and Jesse didn't get that
I
one.
had that very low.
Okay.
Didn't quite understand that film. So that's all
give,
right.
give it a rest.
Not sure there was much to understand on that one.
Number 34, Little Evil. Again, probably where it should be sitting.
Yep.
33, True Memoirs of an International Assassin. And 32, I Am the Pretty Thing That Lives in the House.
Oh, that's pretty low. I had that at 19.
I had that pretty low.
Yeah.
The pretty thing that was in the house.
Heater at 41.
Brought it down.
I did. Sorry.
Number 31 is War Machine.
Oh, wow.
So,
okay.
Jesse, that was the one that me and Heater liked a lot less than you did.
That nearly cracked my top 10. I had that at 11.
Yeah, it did. Number 30, Small Crimes. Probably where it should be, I reckon.
About right.
Number 29, Burning Sands.
Oh,
Where'd you have that one,
I
Jesse?
had that in my top 10. I had that at number 8.
Yeah.
I had that as 29.
There you go.
Exactly where it was ranked.
You nailed it.
Great rankings.
I had a 36, so it kind of worked
I've
out.
already had 2 of my top 10 knocked out.
I've had one of my top 10. Heater, you're lucky.
I haven't had in my top 10 up yet.
What was it? So 28, Sandy Wexler. Which disappointed me because I had it at 14. I thought it was quite good.
Yep.
14, wow.
Oh, no.
Don't do that. I'm going to walk out.
I'm looking forward to talking about some scenes from that later on in this episode.
I got one in the good scenes as well.
I've got one in scenes, but I don't think it was good scenes.
Number 27, Death Note.
Okay.
Probably where it should be.
Yeah.
Similarly with number 26, Sandcastle.
Yeah.
Jesse had it a bit lower.
I did.
Number 25, so into our top 25, is The Do-Over.
Yeah. Had that at 26, so pretty close.
Yeah. Number 24, Blam. We're all pretty on the same page with these couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of around the mark.
Number 23, iBoy.
I believe.
I had it at 41. Don't think much of it is.
I had it at 14.
Yeah,
I had 18.
Yeah.
So it's pretty around where I, yeah.
Here you go. This is Heater's first top 10.
Oh, no.
Number 22, Siege of Jadeville.
Oh, 22 is not bad, eh? It's good. It's in the top half. I'm happy with that.
22 is a great result.
I
Siege of Jadeville.
I had it at 8.
I'm getting really worried because a lot of my bottom ones are still on the table.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Number 21, new one, Deidre and Laney rob a train.
Okay.
Jesse and I didn't mind that film, but it sort of sits where it should be. Heater had it a bit lower.
I had it 35. So what number was that, sir?
That was 21.
21, yeah.
Number 20, and this is another one from my top 10, unfortunately, is Clinical. But we both know that you guys both didn't like that, and I did.
31.
You both
Bang.
had it at 30.
Get
I
out
had
of
it
there.
31 as well.
Get out of here.
I had it at 8. Number 19, Special Correspondence. There you go. One of yours is gone there, Jesse.
That's about where I had it.
Oh, I don't even remember where I had that.
Number 18, Our Souls at Night. Don't say that title quickly.
No.
Number 25, sorry. Number 17, my apologies. It is the 25th Netflix film, Imperial Dreams.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, nice.
Number 16, a film that both Heath and I had just outside the top 10.
Ooh.
Shimmer Lake.
Yeah.
Okay, that can go now. I had that at 41.
Yeah, you killed
That
it.
film was
It
good.
was very close to
That was
getting.
a
That was
good
very close to
film.
getting top 10 for me.
Yeah.
Couldn't quite crack Girlfriend's Day, but it was. Number 15, and I think this is probably just an example of sitting in everyone's kind of mediocrity list, but it gets that 15 is Crouching Tiger, Sort of Destiny.
Yeah.
I think I need to rewatch that, I think.
I think when we get a
Watched
few,
it too early.
when we get a few films
Oh, this was a good
that
film.
one or two people can,
Yeah.
it really skews the results.
Yeah.
So the fact that
So
all
that
of us
one
didn't
was all
mind,
kind of like the
we
same
all didn't
ranking.
mind
We
it.
always kind of, yeah.
Sits there.
Number 14, I didn't realise it this high. Number 14 is Tramps, but it's actually exactly almost where you guys
I
were.
had
Yeah,
15.
I had it 16.
I had 30.
Ooh.
No,
So it's higher than we all had it?
yeah, because everything else gets skewed.
Everyone else gets skewed. Oh, wow, there you go.
So it's got an average of 20,
Yeah.
but then you've got something like there's a bunch of films that have averages of 40s and 30s.
Yeah, okay. There you go.
So, yeah, very good point. Number 13 is, and this is in your top 10, Heater,
Oh, which one?
is Spectral.
Spectral.
So I had it at 12 as well.
Let's say, I was sure that you like that movie as well.
I ruined that one.
Yeah, Jesse had
At
that.
32.
Oh, that was so good though.
Number 12, another one from Jesse's top 6.
Top 6, I know.
Gerald's Game.
Yeah, had that number 6.
But number 12 is a nice result for Gerald's Game.
Yeah, it's better where I had it.
Number 11, one from Heater's top 10 here, is Barry.
Yep.
That was a good movie.
Good movie.
Good
Yeah.
movie.
21 for me.
Not bad. Yeah, it was like okay.
Yeah, it was okay. It was alright. Yeah.
Good movie.
All right, we're into the top 10.
Ooh, countdown.
At number 10,
Do our own sound effects on the show.
only one of us had this in the top 10.
Ooh.
Who was it?
In fact, one person had it out of their top 20.
Ooh, was it me?
Heater had it in his top 10.
Ooh.
This is number 10, the 42nd Netflix film, To the Bone.
Okay. I brought that down a bit. That's my bad.
What did you have that as?
22.
I had it at 15.
I had it 2.
So that is our first top 10.
That's my number 2.
Yeah, it's good. All right.
Number 9.
Number 9.
Again, only one of us had this in their top 10.
On the 9th day of Christmas.
Second day. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Number 9 is the 48th Netflix film, First They Killed My Father.
Okay. I had that in my top 5.
Jesse had it at 5. I had it at 17.
I had it 15.
Ooh.
Number 8.
Good one.
Two of us had this in our top 10. One of us had it in his top 20 just.
Tallulah.
Tallulah, the 10th Netflix film.
I had it at 9, so it's close.
Yep. I had it at 6.
I had it 20. I wasn't as big a fan on that one as you two. Yeah.
Rico, wasn't it? Rico? No. Yeah. Rico?
Rico was
The boy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why are
So
you
I got
bringing
a
him
good
up?
memory. I don't know. I was like, what do I remember for that movie? I'm like, Rico.
How is he the one you remember from that movie? Like, Helen Page's performance.
And, you know, he
was
wasn't
like
even that
Rico.
good in it.
We watched this that nearly like 12 months
It
ago.
was a long time ago.
This is a long time ago.
This is why we do these lists
Yeah.
so we can remember. You know, I add to my list every time I watch a film. I've got a notes on my phone and I add to the list every time I
You're a
watch it.
dedicated man.
Number 7, one from the new lot. Two of us had it in our top 10. I don't feel at home in this world anymore.
Who didn't?
Me. I'm sorry. I had it at 16. So it's still in my top 20.
That's fair enough. Where'd you have it, MJ?
9.
Okay.
Good movie.
I had it at 6.
Yeah.
Oh, I was a big fan of that one. Big fan.
Number 6. Only again, two of us had it in our top 10 from the original lot. The 16th original Netflix film, Seven Años.
7 años. Good movie.
I had it at 7.
I had it at 13.
I had it at 5.
All right, now we're getting close. This is
Getting
our
very
top 5.
And I've still got my top 4 in play.
Every single person actually had this in their top 10.
Yep.
Which is not... We can't say that about a lot of them, obviously.
Yep.
Two of us had it at number 4.
Ooh.
This is Ark.
Ooh. Okay. So I'm the odd one out.
I had it at number 4, about to say.
I
Yeah.
had it at 10. So that
At
means
10?
that means my top 4 films are in our top 4.
Actually, that is correct.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, wow.
There
Okay.
we go.
Ooh. Compared to my
And I can
others,
tell you what, Jesse,
then it's not the right
two
order.
of them would be a lot higher if it wasn't for Heater.
I've definitely brought 2 of them down.
So number 4...
But they're not too way down on the list.
Number 4, two of us had this in our top 2.
Oh, no.
One person didn't have it in his
No.
top
I
10.
know what this is going to be.
Number 4, the 41st Netflix original film, Okja.
You guys had that number 2.
I had it number 1.
I had number
Oh,
2.
wow.
Number 1.
I had it at 11.
Yeah, that really killed it.
I'd say it's where it deserves to be.
And the other one, at number 3, two of us had this in our top 2.
Oh, no!
This one's number 10
This
for me.
hurts.
Made top 10.
Number 3 is The Fundamentals of Caring.
Heater, have you watched that first 15? Have you
Mate, I've
watched
got too many other movies to catch up on and watch.
You need to watch the first 15 minutes of that film again, please.
No, thank you.
So me and Jesse both had Okja and Fundamentals of Caring as 1 and 2.
Oh, bloody hell.
In opposite orders.
10 and 11.
They both... number 2. In all of our top 4, in nobody's top 2 though, but it's number 2, is the 31st Netflix film, The Discovery.
Oh, wow. So we haven't changed our top film over 50 films.
Still my top film.
So The Discovery, I had 3rd, Heater had 3rd, Jesse had 4th, and as a result, it sits at 2nd in our list. And number 1, still the very first original Netflix film, Beasts of No Nation, which I had at number 5. Jesse had at number 3.
And my number one still.
And Ida had it as number one, and that's why it just, like, if it had been one spot lower on anyone's list, it would have been equal with the Discovery, actually.
So when we do our next 25, I need to put Beast of No Nation like 50th so we can rescue this.
I don't know yet. I don't know what we can do about Fundamentals of Caring and Okja. Like, they just can't get any higher. Like, we can't. There's nothing more we can do, Jesse.
Ever. Like, ever?
They're top 5. Be happy with that.
Oh, this hurts. Okay.
That's the thing. It hurts. Like, reading this list, I was reading heaps and I didn't think much of it. And then I wasn't thinking much. And then I saw Okja at 11. I was like, what?
Mate, the second half of that film really.
But it's alright,
really
because Siege of Jadetville was 8.
Oh, Siege of Jadetville. How did you guys not like that?
Oh.
Anyway,
Did you see how many explosions were in that movie?
Did you see how many people like that on social media?
so we're bloody proud of this
about
list.
that?
We'll be posting this list online if you didn't write it down, which is weird. You would have been writing it down, I'm sure. We'll post it online on our socials so you can actually see the list. If you haven't watched any of those films, that might give you a good indication of what you might want to watch leading into this festive season.
Yeah.
But the fun thing that we do with all this is we recap the last 25 films that we've done. And because every episode we like to talk about scenes that we liked and scenes that we didn't like and characters, we go through the last 25 films and we talk about the top 3 scenes, worst 3 scenes,
Yep.
best 3 acting performances, best 3 characters. So let's start with scenes.
Sounds good. Honourable mentions?
Honourable mentions. Jesse, you want to go first? What are your honourable
Sure.
mentions for the best scenes?
Honourable mention. So, first one's from The Most Hated Woman in America. Just that relationship between David and Madeline, and they've seen through a lot of card playing games. I really enjoyed that for their characters. I had Sandy Wexler in here as a character, as a few of his scenes as favourable moments. Bit of the jokes about Blockbuster, Apple, bookstores, Pixar, those sorts of things. Yeah. So I had them as an honourable mention. Sandcastle, a lot of the location shots I thought were worth checking out.
That's right, yeah.
Tramps, I really liked Ali and Danny as characters, and I just wanted to see more of those characters. So when they're on screen together, memorable for me. My last honourable mention is Shimmer Lake. There's a scene where the judge is with this male prostitute, and I laughed when this guy's hiding in the bathroom and does this scream that was just hilarious.
Oh, that's in your...
That's honourable mention.
Because the back half of that scene is really good.
Yeah.
When he like shoots the back of his brain out.
No, I'm just laughing at that
chose
guy's
that
scream.
Hey, that almost got into my worst 3 scenes of the last 25 films.
I just couldn't help but laugh at that.
So what's your top 3?
Number three. So it's from War Machine, which you guys weren't big fans of, really.
No.
I really liked the president in that film, and my number 3 scene is when he's trying to hook up the Blu-ray player. Made me laugh. You know, the whole first scene with him was great. It's like, you know, where's the yellow and red and white cords?
That was funny.
I like that.
That was a good scene.
Number 2 honourable moments is from First They Killed My Father. Long is the little girl character, and there's a scene towards the end where there's a whole bunch of bomb traps, and just really powerful, impactful of her freaking out, standing there, landmines, realising what's going on around her and what she'd done in planting some of those.
Yeah, brilliant.
My number one scene or moment is from Burning Sands.
Right.
Ooh.
Which you guys didn't rate, but the final shot
was okay.
of that film, it's in a hospital, Z's the main character, and the camera just sticks to his face, tears running down his face. That just stayed with me.
He calls his old man, doesn't he?
Yeah, and he calls his old man who he hadn't really had a connection with through the whole film. So that's my number one scene.
Good one.
Heater, what about you?
All right, I've got 3 honourable mentions for best scenes. So first one was the opening scene of Sandcastle, where Nicholas Holt's character is explaining how he's ashamed. He crushes his hand in the door.
Yep.
You got No One Knows playing, just that real kind of opening 5 minutes. It was really good. From the Discovery, I tried to just put one scene in from each film. It was hard to work out which Discovery is my favourite, but the end reveal of the Discovery, you work out he's in a time loop trying to save her on the ferry.
That was bloody good.
That was really good.
I'm jealous that you've watched it.
Good
twice.
reveal. Obviously, too. If you
Oh
wanted
yeah,
to check
we
some of
don't
these,
spoil it.
if you wanted to check some of these movies out, just pause now because we've ruined about 4 of them for you already.
And
a little bit. We've talked about scenes. Like we haven't ruined it.
And
that one probably did actually.
I could not leave out from handsome Detective Jerpis and his 2 crazy detailed stories about how those 2 murders might have occurred. Loved them.
Yep.
So great. My top 3. Number 3 from Shimmer Lake is the bank robbery scene at the end. the whole rubbery scene. You got Zeke who's taunting Ed. The reveal that about Steph and how Zeke's been the father of the child. That whole scene was great.
Good heist.
Yeah. Number 2 is From Two to Bone, the water art scene where you got the music and they're dancing. Just a really uplifting scene in what was a really intense film. And my favourite scene was from I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore, the end shootout at the house. We got the guy gets his hand cut off.
That was brilliant.
And Ruth vomits. You got the girl who cops a ninja star to the face. That whole house shootout scene.
And Rose just keeps vomiting.
Yeah, keeps vomiting. That's
right.
I absolutely love that scene. That's my number 1 scene.
Cool.
Good one.
MJ.
All right, I got 4 or 5 honourable mentions. 2 of which have already, one of which has been said, which was the landmine scene in First They Killed My Father, where she's standing. It was absolutely chilling watching all those people run around her and her realization of what's actually happening. The scene in Handsome where they are inspecting the body, and there's just like comedic punchline after comedic punchline that culminates in what's her name? Leonie, whatever is when she says, I'd bend him over, and he goes, and then what? What do you mean? I'd bend him over and eat a little popcorn out of his ass. It was just a great sequence of comedic moments in that. And Detective Jerpus also has a little role in it.
Detective Jerpus.
From Sandy Wexler, this is probably the most I've laughed in the last 25 films, in the scene where they're all in that room and the lights go out, and then he's like, oh, did you guys pay the electricity bills? And he's like, no, you stood on the light switch. And he goes, no, I didn't. And it was just brilliant Wexler humour. I thought that scene was actually
Okay. Looking forward to your top 3.
The scene where Isla gets, again, spoilers, the scene where Isla gets shot in The Discovery, just that great example of bait and switch, where you thought it was going to be Jesse Plemons' character getting shot, and then you thought it was going to be the guy getting shot, ended up being Isla. Really, really good scene.
Yep.
In I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore, when they initially steal the laptop back, and they break into that house and
throws a ninja star on the wall.
Elijah, then he can't get it out. And he goes, that's how hard I threw it. But into my top 3, again, it is The Discovery, and it's the scene where they're in the bunk bed, and I think it's a real turning point of the film where they have that really philosophical conversation about life and whether you're taking someone's spot, and they have that link with suicide, and they realise that they have a lot more in common than we actually thought they did, and those 2 characters blended really well. The twist scene in Shimmer Lake. Just, firstly, I didn't see that twist happening, but secondly, that scene with that up-tempo music as Zeke walks back inside and lies on the floor, it just felt like the twist reveal from Saw.
With the Saw music.
The Saw music came on, and that was just an excellent scene. And number one is just no surprise for you guys, but in Oakjar, when the super pigs help that other little baby pig escape. The waterworks were already flying for me, but that just took it to the next level. So some great scenes in the last 25 films.
Good.
Which is why we unfortunately have to talk about the worst 3 scenes.
All right, I'll kick off with honourable mentions. I'll try not to take too much time with my honourable mentions.
You don't mind bad scenes.
I love my bad scenes. So my first honourable mention is most of Sandcastle, just in general.
Except for the opening scene.
Except for the opening scene.
I didn't know you disliked that movie that much.
Just going through the most hated things in that film, I was like, there was so much in this that I did not. From Girlfriend's Day. So Girlfriend's Day is that movie about greeting cards.
Yeah.
The whole owl sex scene. There was a scene where a guy has sex with an owl.
Really weird.
And I know it was needed for the characters, but it was just weird. Deidre and Lainey rob a train. There's a scene where the dad visits the mum in jail, and he goes, if the table's not there, I'd put a baby in you.
I recall that being in my good scenes from the film.
Not for me. Win it all. There's a scene, like, it was just about the graininess, really. That was all. I could barely see what was happening when that
was a weird decision for them to shoot
on film.
Yeah.
Sandy Wexler, Mr. Buttons was this clown, and he left a suicide note and hung himself.
Yeah.
Didn't like that. Small Crimes, the gunfight at the end, I thought it was just rubbish because it just killed off all these people so we could close the story. Handsome, every bit of dialogue, including
Detective Jerpus,
including the 2 you've mentioned, Jerpus and Fleur. So I've even got her name written down. To the Bone, the mum feeding Eli with the bottle at the end. That was a bit weird.
That's right.
That was so weird.
A lot of stuff in Jessica James, the weird dialogue about smelling panties. Yep. And last one...
Her saying dope all the time.
Yeah. Last honourable mention is the post-credit scene in Death Note. You guys liked it.
Oh, yeah, that was good.
Did not like it at all.
Which one was that? I can't
So
remember
Death
now.
Note's the book that falls from the sky.
No, I know, but what was the post-credit scene?
It was like them all laughing and having fun. There's
Yeah,
this
no,
heavy movie that's finished
oh,
really heavy.
that's
and then-
right. Yeah,
Rocking out
I
to
didn't mind that.
Power of Love.
Yeah, no, I didn't mind that.
Yeah,
It
anyway.
was really good.
So now I'm into my
Oh.
top three.
Top
Sorry, I'm
three.
still going. So my number 3 worst scene is every scene with Danny and Cam in Reality High.
Is that their names, was it? I can't remember.
Yep. Number 2.
You could have just said every scene in that movie.
I could have.
Hang on, which two were they?
Danny and Cam,
The
the guy's trying to teach her to swim and
Yeah,
the chick,
okay, yeah.
Number 2 is any scene in Naked where Rob's trying to get to the wedding.
That's the film.
So the whole movie.
Good. So the whole I'm glad you picked that up. So the whole
I feel like you're not picking scenes here, you're picking movies.
I'm having fun. And number 1 is from Shimmer Lake.
Oh, no.
So Sally and Zeke, they're in this patrol car.
Yeah, this
He's
is
a
bad.
cop
Yeah,
sitting in the car.
This was good.
And he goes, "I'm giving the whole town a bath, like when I'm dirty and Mum gives me a bath." Gross dialogue.
Okay, I don't remember that.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
I
there was
talking
another
about
one
that
where she
I thought one
drops
where,
the F-bomb or something.
Yeah,
where she fully abuses the
Yeah.
fat guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm going to say
Anyway,
that. 'Cause that was
that's
funny.
my top 3 worst scenes.
Well
Peter.
done. Well done.
All right, a couple of not as many honourable mentions as Jesse, but from Burning Sands, the Hell Night torture scene, where they're beating him and making him eat the dog food, was just really uncomfortable.
And killing someone.
Yeah, and that. From Sandy Wexler, when Sandy's crying in the car, I remember that goes on
Yeah.
for so
I'll
long.
give you that.
And from Ocha, the pig rape scene with Johnny Wilcox drunk and that phone call.
Yep,
I didn't
that was
like
great.
that scene at all. So our top 3 were scenes. Number 3 from Deidre and Lainey Robert Train.
So your scenes in there were all just more uncomfortable scenes for you.
Yeah, scenes that I just didn't enjoy watching.
Yeah, not
comfortable
like a
ones.
bad.
Yeah,
scene,
probably not bad. These are probably more now the bad
Okay,
scenes.
cool.
Yeah. So number 3, Deidre and Lainey Robert Train, the Teen Miss Idaho contest scene.
Yeah.
Just awful.
Oh, that was all right.
I didn't like that at all. Sandy Wexler, the recording scene where the guy doesn't push the button
Oh yeah, that was
twice
long.
and
That
it
was
just goes on. Come on.
Yeah.
And then my worst scene, well, my worst, it's 2 scenes, but from Handsome, the 2 scenes where the neighbour's daughter is dancing.
Oh, yeah.
Just really weird and awkward.
No, one of them
and,
was funny though when she just stood behind the curtain the whole time.
yeah.
That was good.
You know, they were really weird and awkward and they were bad.
I don't mind your list, Hater. They're pretty decent. MJ.
Don't touch Okja though. My honourable mentions. The first one is from Handsome. It's the one where Detective Handsome is having that weird staring off scene with the lieutenant, and they just stare at each other while the clock ticks in the background.
Yeah.
It didn't work for me. The opening scene of Our Souls at Night, when she rolls in and says, "Would you want to sleep with me?" But then she waits like a whole minute to define what she means by "sleep with me."
Yeah.
She was old. Give her a break.
No, they tried to make it deliberately awkward, and it felt too forced. And the only other honourable mention I have is in Most Hated Woman in America, when they jump to 3 years later, which basically just took out the entire tension of the film.
Yep.
Which I thought was terrible. Again, but that film was probably more made for people who knew the story, and we didn't.
Yeah.
So number 3 in my worst 3 scenes from the last 25 films is from To the Bone, that kind of reborn Death Days scene that they had. It kind of felt like they didn't quite know how to finish it and make her have that realization or epiphany, and it didn't really work for me. I've got a similar sort of broad one from Reality High as you, Jesse. Just like the whole when they were pretending to be friends thing, and that was so obvious that was setting up for embarrassment, but it was predictable and it played out for way too long.
Yep.
Just was painful to watch unfold. And the top 3 scene, this one wrote itself, was that heart attack scene in Win It All. That was, that was absolutely atrocious. I think that could be the worst acting I've ever seen. So I do have trouble trying to put these in order, but that one won easily.
This is good because we've got a lot of different.
I know.
All been so
But every time
different.
someone says something, I'm like, I should have thought of that one.
Yeah, that was
It's a
bad.
belter.
A couple of yours, like I wanted to put them as honorable mentions, but I thought I'll just keep it to a few.
Sorry.
Unlike you, who went for like 10.
Smack. All right, we're into that now. All right.
Well, now we get to go to the good stuff again. We don't like being negative, but because scenes are a big part of our
We do like being
episodes.
negative. Well, Jesse does.
But this is the fun stuff. I find these next 2 categories are like the Flix Forum Oscars almost. So,
Ooh, okay.
top 3 characters from the last 25 films, Jesse.
I wanted to do Razzies for this one too because I had so many.
Worst 3.
See, he likes
characters.
being negative.
But we'll go with the top 3 characters. So my honourable mentions are Deidre and Lainey in Deidre and Lainey Robert Train. I thought the chemistry of those sisters as characters was really good.
Cool.
I had Will from The Discovery, played by Jason Segel. Thought good character to get to know. I had Gary from Little Evil, the dad. I thought, like, as a character, he was alright.
Yeah. He was kind of interesting to follow in his footsteps.
The movie was about following him and how he dealt with, being his new dad. So I liked him as a character. I liked the characters of Ali and Danny and Tramps. I thought I had to mention them because I did enjoy that film. And I liked that little love story between the two characters. Small Crimes, we didn't like the film massively, but I thought the cop was quite funny in that. I thought he had a good little comedian.
Yeah.
The one who's drinking beer.
Who tasered him.
Yeah, that guy. I put Blam in here as well because I thought it's hard to talk about acting performances with an anime film, but I thought as a character, I liked that Killy guy. I thought as it was this unlikable hero that
he said in about an hour. He spoke so slow.
Yeah, unlikable hero that I thought was cool. My last
He was interesting, that's for sure.
Last honourable mention is from War Machine. Cole, the black soldier who was played by Keith Stanfield.
Billy Cole.
Yeah, I was just, he just represented a lot in that film about what was going on for me. And I liked that film, so yeah. So, my top three. Number 3, as a character, Sandy Wexler.
Yep.
Played by Adam Sandler.
It was a great character.
He was a really good character. He was a lovable character.
Except when he spoke. Or laughed.
Give us a laugh, MJ. My number 2 character represented a lot of innocence and built this film, and it's from Okja, and it's Misha from that film. Amazing character. Just really felt for that kid. And my number 1 character is from Burning Sands, Z.
Really?
Yeah, I thought he was really relatable as a character. He just wanted to fit in, did the right things most of the time, and he faced his consequences as a character. So he's my number 1 character.
Nice.
Peter.
Cool. All right, so a few honourable mentions to start off with. Toby from The Discovery, who was Jesse Plemons' character.
Yep.
Really liked him and his comic relief as well, through his relationship with his brother Will. Alan/Eli from To the Bone. So you guys know I really liked that movie. Thought Eli was really good character. Misha from Okja, for the exact same reasons that Jesse said. And the last one, because Jesse, I would not leave it off, is Detective Jerpis from Handsome.
I knew, I was so glad
he gets an honourable mention. So my top 3...
He kept saying his name every time he had to say, hey, Detective Jerpis. It's like, I know who you are.
I hired you. Yeah. So top 3 characters. Number 3 is Will from The Discovery, who was Jason Segel's character. He was great. Really good to watch. Number 2 was Luke from To the Bone, who was the male in the house that really helped everyone, and I thought he was great.
I left him off, the forgettable scenes and stuff because I know that you guys liked him, so I was like, I'm not going to...
Who cares?
Who cares? I thought he was great in supporting everyone in the house. And my favourite character is Tony from I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore, who was Elijah Wood's character, just because he was fun, enjoyable, how ridiculous he was. He had no idea what he was doing with all his nunchucks and fighting gear, but I thought he was a great, fun character. I loved watching him.
Cool. Very different bunch.
I tried really hard, and I think the reason that I separated my top 3 from my honourable mentions, I tried to think of if one of these characters had just walked onto a set of another film that I was watching, how excited would I be? And then when I was trying to figure out who my top 3 were, I'm like, who do I want to just pop into another film? Because I love that character so much. So that's how I kind of separated my honourable mentions from my top 3. So first honourable mention I had was Pa from First They Killed My Father. I just love the positivity of that guy in the face of everything terrible that was going on.
Yeah.
I've got the collective group of stepdads from Little Evil.
Oh, yeah.
They
were good.
absolutely made that film.
They were good.
Probably the most I've laughed in Netflix is those guys, to be honest. I had Boone from The Incredible Jessica James. I like the fact that the secondary character, the love interest, still kind of had his own story and had his own morals, and I thought Chris O'Dowd was very funny. I had Jessica James in The Incredible Jessica James just because I love the idea of that character not having to change as much as she thought she did to try and get results. That was all in her initially. She just had to change the way she thought about herself.
Did you like that film?
Jessica James? Yeah, I did. I thought it was pretty good. And my other honourable mention is Sandy Wexler, similar to Jesse. Just thought it was a great character. Top 3, and again, these are 3 people that if they walked into any other TV show or movie I was watching, I'd be like, oh my god, they're in it. I love it. Number 3, Detective Fleur Scazzari from Handsome. I thought she was hilarious. I thought everything about her was crass and funny, and that was probably what got her over the line to get the 3rd position. Number 2 is Okja from Okja. Again, the fact that creature had so much charisma and love and care and feeling just blew me away. That this creature that I'd never seen before, wasn't familiar with, completely captured me. And number 1 is Tony from I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore.
There we go.
He was a brilliant character because, despite him being a pretty weird kind of dude, he actually, again, had really good morals. And, you know, that scene where Ruth was actually stealing all the lawn animals and he just lost it. He's like, no, I'm happy to help you on all this because you're being done wrong. He was great. He was funny. He was brave. He was great. So Tony gets number one for me.
Good work. 2 number ones for Tony.
All right, so this is our last category. We're gonna check out. So these are our favourite acting performances. So we'll start off with me with my honourable mentions, and my honourable mention is Elijah Wood as Tony. So I'll continue on with that flow. I thought Elijah Wood was awesome in that role. In I Don't Feel at Home in This World Anymore. A very long title.
Well done.
My other honourable mentions are Trevor Jackson as Z in Burning Sands. So that was my favourite character. I had Melissa Leo as Madeline in The Most Hated Woman in America. I thought she was really, really good as that character. Got into that role really well. I've got Grace Van Patten as Ellie from Tramps. And I guess this sort of ties in a little bit with some of the characters you like too, because you like the
in a sense,
Jackie Weaver as Joe's mum in Small Crimes. I thought for the small time she was on screen, it was a weird role, but she did it really well. I've got Tilda Swinton playing the two twins in Okja. I thought she did a really good job in that. And I guess if we're talking about her too in War Machine, she was.
I did like her in War Machine.
Good scene.
Yeah. My last honourable mention is Robert Redford and Jane Fonda in Our Souls at Night. I thought the chemistry between those two actors
was cute, wasn't
really
it?
good.
I mean, they're both pretty talented.
They are very, very talented actors. So, my top three. Number 3, I've got from War Machine, Brad Pitt playing Glenn in War Machine. I thought Brad Pitt was fantastic in that. I thought he was really, really good as this soldier, and he was just stuck to that character that they had ready for him. It was very good.
I love the way you run. That was great.
Yeah.
My number 2 is Carla Gugino from Gerald's Game. She played Jessie, and the work she did being tied to a bed throughout pretty much a whole film, I thought was amazing.
Yep.
And my number 1 performance is from First They Killed My Father, and it's for the character of Long, and it was played by Sarem Shremok, young little girl. Amazing.
Well done, young lass.
Yeah.
She was good.
A lot of direction from Angelina Jolie, but I thought she was awesome.
Yeah, and I don't think she'd have acted before.
No, Peter.
All right, so my honourable mentions are Melissa Leo from The Most Hated Woman in America, just like Jessie. Carla Gugino from Gerald's Game, who again was very good. And Brad Pitt from War Machine, who again, I didn't like War Machine the movie, but he was fantastic in it. So my top 3, number 3 is Elijah Wood for Tony, and I Don't Feel Home Anymore. My favourite character, and I thought he just gave a great performance. My number 2 is Grace Van Patten, who played Ellie in Tramps. I think you gave her an honourable mention as well. She was really good. And my number 1 is Lily Collins, who played Eli in To the Bone. Loved that movie. Thought her performance was amazing in it. How much into the role she was and how real it all was. I thought Lily Collins was fantastic.
Yeah, she would have taken a fair bit on that role for sure.
Awesome. MJ.
Cool. To wrap things up, a lot of these have been... a few of these have been said. My honourable mentions. First one, I've got Alex Sharp, who played Luke in To the Bone. His performance was excellent. The character was pretty good, but I thought he completely owned that movie. Just like you two, I've got Grace Van Patten, who played Ellie in Tramps. I think she's a great actress, and I think I've said it a couple of times on podcasts that I will continue to watch more she does, because she's very good.
Definitely.
Melanie Linsky, who played Ruth in I Don't Feel Home in This World Anymore.
She was good.
I'm blown away that she hasn't had more roles like this, because she is very, very good. Bob Odenkirk, who is Ray Wentworth in Girlfriend's Day. Awesome performance to completely lean into that role in that film.
Yep.
And my final honourable mention, again, this was so close to missing out my top 3, was Carla Gugino, who played Jessie in Gerald's Game, similar to you guys. Number 3, I've got Lakeith Stanfield, who played Billy Cole in War Machine. For a film that wasn't very good, he completely stood out and was the most relatable character. Asked the questions that you wanted to ask, and geez, you just felt he was there. Fantastic. Again, super talented actor. Number 2 was Elijah Wood, who played Tony. The reason that Tony was such a good character was because Elijah Wood was so damn good in this film.
Yep.
And number 1, a little bit controversial. It feels like a little bit of a cop-out, but I've got Jason Segel, who played Will in The Discovery, mainly because I initially just didn't buy Jason Segel in this role, and he won me over so hard that I just can't fault his performance. And the fact that I love that film so much was a lot to do with a lot of things, but Jason Segel in particular. So he gets number 1 for me.
Awesome.
Nice.
It's been a bit of fun.
It is fun. These episodes are fun. They're fun to...
It's good to catch up.
It's fun to just look back as well, because you do forget this kind of stuff.
That's 50 films that we've looked at. It's
50
crazy.
films.
Absolutely crazy. So that's pretty much it for this episode. we've really enjoyed the people listening along. Hope you're enjoying it as much as we are. We are back again tomorrow for day 3 of Podmas.
Day 3 of Podmas.
We're checking out a dark comedy called Bomb Scared.
Okay.
Yeah, so 2017 film. So we'll give that a crack tomorrow.
I believe you've lined up a guest host for Bomb Scared. Is that true?
I think so, and we might save that for
see
the
if
show
he-
tomorrow. See if he rocks up.
Yeah, right.
See if he watches it tonight. So we'll see how that goes. But it's been great to see both of you today. And this has been fun.
Absolutely.
Good to see you, boys.
See you,
We'll
boys.
see you tomorrow.